Hi everyone, and welcome to recap video number 2 of the training for my first half marathon. My name is Sarah. I'm going to take you through the 5 things that I think are important to my training for this week. So the first one's being the workouts themselves. That includes both the running and also the strength training. I'll take you through my recovery. I'll take you through my nutrition and also my psychology. So how I'm doing mentally, how I'm feeling, and all of that good stuff. So let's get into the video. All right, the workouts. So like the last week, there were 3 running workouts, 1 strength workout. The first run was on the Tuesday. It was a 5-kilometer easy run with 4 20-second strides. So that made it a little bit more interesting rather than just the easy run, had those strides to look forward to at the end. The first couple of kilometers, I think I was still trying to feel out the body and how, the legs were going, how the mind was going. So they were a little bit more uncomfortable than the second half of the run, which generally I've found is kind of my MO in terms of when I've been running before. That's how it's gone. The first section is a little bit uncomfortable, and then as I ease into it, as the body warms up a little bit more, it's a little bit more fluid and I'm more comfortable, and it's more enjoyable on those easy runs. The 4 20-second strides, I think, were okay. I tried to push to like 85% of my capacity. It just feels like I'm sprinting. So it's hard to tell how much effort I'm putting into them, other than it's quite a lot. And it's definitely not a speed that I would be able to sustain for a very long time. So on that 5K easy run, I was going at around about 7:16 minutes per kilometer. Then the next day, the Wednesday, was a rest day. Did some study, just kind of pottering around the house, taking care of the doggos, nothing too strenuous. The next day was a strength training day. So again, I followed the running channel's 12-minute follow-along bodyweight strength training video. Yeah, it's still, not my favorite thing to do, but it's not as bad as last week in terms of I didn't enjoy it. Although, to be honest, I definitely procrastinated doing it. I don't think I did it until like 5 p.m. in the afternoon. So I put that off. The next run was on the Friday, so straight after the strength training day, and that was a 6-kilometer easy run. That one felt pretty good as well. Similar to the Tuesday, the 5K easy run, the first kind of half is the more difficult part of it because I'm still trying to feel it out. And then the coming back, the running home, I'm looking forward to that. I'm thinking about the food. I'm thinking about the aircon. It's super humid where I am at the moment. So I averaged at about 7:21 minutes per kilometer. This is generally my easy pace, I think, is like somewhere in the 7 minutes per kilometer. One thing I've noticed is I'm very bad at like figuring out pace by feel and like sustaining a pace over a period of time. It definitely it fluctuates so much. Hopefully in the future I'll be better at being able to sustain a pace, but right now I'm just kind of all over the place. The next day was a Saturday, and that was a rest day, which was really lovely. I planned to go to the beach that day,
but I missed my bus.
And then Sunday, which is actually today, felt pretty good. Actually, no.
That's not true.
That was quite painful. I don't know why I said that felt good, because it didn't. Today was an 8-kilometer easy run.
Easy run?
The first 3 kilometers are at an easy pace. So yeah, that felt okay. Not too bad. Like that. And then the next 2 kilometers were at my half marathon kind of goal pace, which is somewhere in like the low 6 minutes per kilometer to mid 6 minutes per kilometer. It's in there. Going from my easy pace to the half marathon pace was an adjustment, and I didn't really adjust. I didn't realize how much of a change that would feel, because on paper it doesn't seem that fast compared to other people. But for me, that jump, that like minute difference that I was speeding up to run, I definitely could feel that. I was breathing a lot harder. Like as I was running past people, I was like, oh dang, I'm so sorry. My breathing is loud. Like you can tell. The people who were coming past me could tell I was putting in significant effort trying to reach these paces. And honestly, I didn't reach the pace most of the time. Yeah, honestly, I struggled to figure out how to feel that pace out. So sometimes I was like the high 5 minute per kilometer. Other times I was high 6 minute per kilometer. And I needed to be in the low to mid 6 minute kilometer. As a first go of testing out the half marathon pace, I think it was okay. Yeah. So yeah, those were the workouts of this week. Overall, I think they went pretty well. Like I did all of them, and I think for the most part they felt good. And I'm going to give myself a 7 out of 10 because I did them to the best of my abilities at the moment. Obviously, there's lots of room for improvement as I go along, but 7 out of 10 feels pretty good. Recovery. I remember last week, recovery did not go so well for me because they basically did
nothing
other than sleep quite well. And this week, I think it's been more of
The opposite of
that, actually. I haven't slept as well as I did last week. A bit of broken sleep this week, which hasn't been great for recovery after those runs. But I did buy a foam roller. So I wanted to buy a foam roller this week and I did it. I think I got it on the Wednesday on that rest day. So I didn't use it on the Tuesday after my easy 5K, but I've got it. And I've used it a couple of times after my runs, the Friday run and the Sunday run, which actually did feel quite good afterwards. I noticed that it's a bit painful to use. I'm just following YouTube videos on different techniques, different exercises to use them
because I don't really know what I'm doing.
But yeah, I've gotten that, and I have also tried to do more static stretches after those runs. I think potentially I'm doing them a little bit too late after the run. Like I heard that it's good to do them quite soon after you've come back from running, but I've been doing them like kind of a couple hours afterwards when the muscles have cooled down a bit more. For next week, I'd try to move that cool down period, the foam rolling period, a little bit closer to the time after I finish running. Other than that, I think recovery has improved significantly since last week because last week I did nothing. And this week I've tried a bit more. So I'm going to give myself a 6 out of 10 because I got the foam roller. I have been trying to use it. Need to improve the timing of it a little bit, and also would be better to get more sleep, which is very important. Nutrition. So this week's nutrition I think went overall pretty well. I did go over my calories on the Monday. I find that on rest days, which Monday was a rest day, I am like more hungry. Maybe because I'm like chilling at home, I'm just kind of bored and eating is a way to do something. But for the rest of the week, I have been reaching those calorie goals. I would like to be eating more protein because I have run out of protein powder, so I need to get that to add it to my porridge in the morning. And what I've eaten has basically looked like most of last week as well, which was those porridge after my runs and every other day for breakfast because I just eat the same thing. I made a huge pot, like gigantic pot of Japanese curry. And so I've just been having that, honestly, for like lunch and dinner for the past few days to try eat it all. It's really delicious, but I made quite a lot because I wanted to use up some ingredients. I've also had some savory porridge, which is basically porridge with like onion, garlic, veggies, chickpeas, and different spices as well to give it some more flavor. I've also been having sweet potato, baked sweet potato, which is delicious. I love sweet potato, very, very yum. Along with some form of stir-fried beans and veggies with different spices and sauces to make it interesting. Snacks, I have been having lots of popcorn. I've also had fruit. I made some banana muffins. So nutrition, I'm gonna give myself a 7 out of 10. Nice. Nutrition. Excellent. All right, psychology. So, mentally this week, I think I've been feeling okay. There's been days where I felt really good, and then other days where I felt pretty kind of 50%. Not bad, but just pretty average. One thing I noticed that I'm finding a little bit difficult psychologically is actually just getting out and going for those runs, or like you heard before, actually doing the strength training, which I procrastinated for a very long time. I know that when I actually get out there and do it, I'm going to enjoy it, but it's that mental barrier of actually going out, getting ready, stepping out the door, doing the little warm up, and then going for the run that I'm kind of struggling with. Not heaps, but I've just noticed that it's something that is kind of, just niggling me a little bit this week. Again, the sleep, I think, has been a little bit of a struggle just because I haven't been getting my preferred amount. I've been a little bit tired, more tired throughout the day. Maybe that's the reason it's been a little bit harder to get out for those runs and do that strength workout. But there have been some positive experiences as well. It hasn't all been meh. Yesterday, the Saturday, when I wanted to go to the beach, I missed the bus. It went past as I was walking down the perpendicular street, and I thought, that's not ideal because it's a very long walk. I was a bit annoyed about that I had left a little bit too late. I hadn't given myself enough time, and now I'd missed the bus. Instead of going straight back home, which I think I would have felt a bit defeated if I did that, I went for a little walk around the neighborhood and around Tuggerah Lake. I got to listen to the water, to the birds, to the animals. I got to see it, see the sun glistening on the water, and it was just gorgeous. It's really, really pretty. And that day, the lake didn't smell, which is nice, because sometimes when I've been running around it, not around it because it's huge, but alongside part of it, there's been like a strong smell. And I think that's when the water's kind of been mixed up a little bit, and it's picking up some of the murky stuff at the bottom and releasing it out the top. And it smells a little bit like rotten eggs. But that day, yesterday, when I went for this little walk, it was really lovely. And I felt a lot calmer, a lot more relaxed, less annoyed. Actually, I didn't feel annoyed that I'd missed the bus to the beach. Also, during the week, I watched a documentary by Hugh Van Seilenbeck. He's a great speaker, and he's been working in primary, secondary education in Australia for a couple of decades, I think. And he gives this talk called GEM, which stands for gratitude, empathy, and mindfulness, and how important they are in helping us feel positive, feel good, feel happy. One thing that I really took away and wanted to implement is the G, the gratitude, which I have mentioned last week. He rephrases it. Instead of saying, what am I grateful for today? Maybe ask myself, what are 3 things that went well for me today? And that slight rephrase has actually really helped, because I'm hoping to continue to implement that next week. I think overall it's been a pretty okay, leaning more towards the positive side. If I'm thinking about kind of a spectrum, and this is really bad and this is great and this is okay in the middle, I'm a little bit more on the past okay this week, which is good. I'm going to give myself a 6.5 out of 10 for the psychological aspect of this week. That's a video. Thank you so much for watching. If you've reached the end, if you've gotten to this point, could you please comment a thumbs up in the comments, because that would be great to know if you're watching and if you enjoyed it. I really look forward to seeing you next week. Looking forward to week 3 of the training. I think there's a bit of speed work coming up, so that should be interesting. As always, I hope you have a really fantastic week, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.